You and me and you for the rest of the world. What's up, everybody?
It's you and me and you for the rest of our lives.
Oh.
But that's okay. You still got the voice correct.
Listen, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, welcome back.
Shout out to Billy Crystal.
Hey, and we got to get into When Harry Met Sally at some point. That's a classic.
A pinnacle. And that is not what we're here to talk about today.
No.
But this is Rom-Coms and Roses.
Yeah. Welcome back, guys. Sorry we took a little bit to get to the second episode.
We have had a lot going on.
Yeah.
Over here.
A lot going on. And then we also tried to record an episode, but the movie was so bad that we just had nothing to say.
It broke our brains.
Yeah.
It broke our brains in a way that I was like, we need to get some structure in here so that next time we have a really bad movie, it doesn't break our brains.
Yeah. Last time, we barely had structure, but the movie didn't either, so it worked.
Exactly.
It worked so well.
Exactly.
But, most movies actually have plots, so it was time we got our shit together and really figured out what we were doing.
Right.
That movie that we tried to do last week, by the way, was called Last Christmas. If you haven't seen it, don't watch it.
Girl.
Anyways, that's not the movie we're here to talk about today.
Did you want to introduce yourself?
Oh, yeah. I'm Trevor, whatever. Dang, that rhymed. I kind of got bars today.
What?
Your turn.
And I'm Shannon. I feel like I have to introduce myself as Shan because of our name,
of the title.
But, yeah. So today, what are we going to talk about?
We're talking about Happiest season. Last time we did a Netflix original. Now we're doing a Hulu original.
Oh, wow.
Sometimes I forget that Hulu has originals.
Yeah, me too. But, here's the thing I really want to say before we jump into this movie is this movie, Happiest Season, deals a lot with LGBTQIA plus representation as to straight,
white
cis,
people.
white people. I just want to make a disclaimer before we get into this. We by no means think we are an authority on representation in these cases.
And if coronavirus was not so crazy right now, we would have had a guest who could give that sort of input.
One of the many members of this community that we have in our lives. It would have been lovely to have somebody on to host with us in this case. Yeah. But we will not try to speak on anybody's behalf. I just have one thing to say, and we will get into that once we get into the breakdown.
There's a lot to unpack with this movie.
And if you have some thoughts on it that we don't touch on, if you would like to shine a light on something
feel free to message us, Twitter, Instagram.
You know where we be.
Yeah. If you don't,
I'll be
we plug it at the end. So
I'm up in my studio, up in my studio. Oh, baby, okay.
It's Britney, bitch.
Oh, that was good.
Anyways, I was trying to say, stay to the end because we will plug ourselves.
Yes.
So listen to the whole thing.
Yes.
All right. So Happiest Season. We're going to start watching it right now. And then we're going to come back and start talking about it. All right?
All right.
All right. We'll see you guys in a sec.
See you in a few.
I just woke up thinking about going home with you and got very excited about Christmas. I get to go meet the people that made my favorite person.
I'll always take December way over summer.
Abby, you and Harper have a perfect relationship.
She is my person, and I really want everyone to know that. I want to marry her.
What are you doing on your phone?
I left a gentleman alone in my apartment, so I'm tracking him to make sure he leaves.
You're tracking him?
Yeah, I track everybody. If the NSA can do it, so can I.
All right, we're back. We just watched about 20 minutes of it.
Yes, we did.
Of the movie. So you know what we're ready for?
Plot breakdown.
Oh, yeah. So Happiest Season centers around lesbian couple Abby and Harper, played by Kristen Stewart and Mackenzie Davis, respectively, and their struggles during the holiday season. Abby has had a distaste towards Christmas ever since her parents passed away, so Harper decides to invite her to celebrate Christmas with her family for the first time. Little does Abby know, Harper is not yet out to her family, and Abby has to spend Christmas pretending to be Harper's straight orphan roommate who didn't have anywhere or anyone to celebrate Christmas with. At Harper's family home, Abby meets her nuclear family consisting of her uptight mother, Tipper, played by Mary Steenburgen, her politician father, Ted, played by Victor Garber, her interesting sister, Jane, played by Mary Holland, and her standoffish sister, Sloane, played by Alison Brie, who we actually don't meet yet to this point in the movie, but we hear about her.
Yes, she is discussed.
She is discussed.
In distaste by her mother.
Yeah, because she is now making gift baskets when she used to be a lawyer.
Right. Gift baskets. I think that might be a simplification of it, but we don't really ever get that much clarity on that.
No, that's all we're told.
Right away, I want to say, you guys, we start off this movie with our girls, Abby and Harper, having a little holiday date where they're seeing...
A goof and a gaff.
A little goof-aloof, seeing Christmas lights. And this incredible comedian, Michelle Buteau, is leading them on a tour of the Christmas lights. Mm-hmm. I love her, you guys. She only has a very small bit of a little cameo in this movie.
But it's very good.
Yes, but if you're looking to support more female comedians, please go watch her Netflix special. She also has like a few really good podcasts that are, I think, over now, but you should go check her out. She's so funny, body positive, like older-ish woman of color, and I love her, and you guys will too.
And she has a really funny bit in this movie about Christmas trees and deaths.
Murderous Christmas trees.
Yeah. Deaths, injuries, and
money loss.
So.
Right. Yeah. I mean, something to notice right off the bat in this movie, we have Miss Kristen Stewart, whom I love. Sorry about it. Sorry if that's a controversial opinion. I have always kind of loved Kristen Stewart. I know, look, we could debate for hours whether or not she was bad in Twilight or if she was good in Twilight.
That's not a debate.
And it was just a poorly written character.
That's not a debate.
Bella was boring and she played her well. She played her to the T.
Anyways.
True to the character. So shout out to my girl, Kristen.
I've never been a big fan of her, but in this movie, I really like her.
Yeah,
she's really good.
She does really good.
She not only does she do the heavy lifting for the chemistry of the couple that we focus on,
right?
But also the heavy lifting for maybe most of the movie, like most of the cast.
Yeah,
she has like most of the most emotional
turmoil.
Yeah, and she requires a lot of how do you say, acting prowess, I guess?
Yeah, I would say that. So Miss Kristen Stewart, she is a person who identifies as lesbian. Shout out to our girl. But Mackenzie Davis, her co-star, is someone who identifies as straight.
Right.
And I know Kristen Stewart kind of addressed this in an interview, and she was on the side of if we could only have gay actors play gay characters, then I should never be able to play a straight person.
Which, sure, yeah.
Right.
I can agree with to an extent, but for this, I think it's very much required because of, and you've said this before, it's very particularly a LGBT experience.
Right.
Of like the whole coming out thing.
Exactly. This is a movie that centers itself around the LGBTQIA plus experience, specifically the lesbian experience. And this is a situation where you want to be truthful to the situation, and you want to, if this movie is going to be a representative of that, then you need to truly have the representation. Yeah. And there are so many actresses that identify as lesbian that you could have had.
And we also have a lot of, I feel like we have more gay actors in this than we have lesbian actresses.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Right,
because you have Dan Levy.
Right.
Who plays John.
Right.
Who's,
love him.
Abby's friend. And yeah, he's fantastic in this movie. He's one of the best parts. Mm-hmm. He brings a lot of emotion to the movie.
Right.
Dude makes me cry towards the end.
Yeah, me too.
And then also Ted.
Victor Garber. Yes.
Is a gay man. Also.
A gay man playing a questionably Republican man. We believe he's Republican because if he was a Democrat, he would be capitalizing on the fact that he has a gay daughter.
He would be damn.
He'd be wearing a rainbow Speedo at Pride, walking hand in hand with his daughter, and then posting pictures of it and being like, "I'm not gay, but
let me exploit that.
But I do have pride in my daughter. Love is love." Yeah. So this is all to say that. Again, we are not the authority on any of these issues by any means whatsoever. But when you have a story that is uniquely LGBTQ, you have to be true to that. And you have to do what's right. And look, we can get into the semantics of a buddy cop movie where it's not really important that one of them is gay plot wise, but one of them just so happens to be gay, and that it comes out in the story somehow. I don't know. We can discuss the issues with that, but that's not what we're talking about on this specific podcast today. At least. Who knows? Again, I want to say Kristen Stewart is doing all of the heavy lifting when it comes to the chemistry.
Yeah, because for me, their chemistry just wasn't it. Like, what's her name's character? Mackenzie Davis's character. Harper. Yeah. Is just, it just feels off. Most of her lines when she's with Kristen Stewart's character, they just feel a little bit stilted.
Yeah. It's, you know what's interesting is this character, it's like, so they have a fight kind of when Harper tells Abby that she did not actually tell her parents that she is lesbian and that they are together. They have a little fight, and like you can very obviously see that Kristen Stewart is like invested in the conversation. Like she seem, I don't know, they just seem like they're having two different conversations, even though they're not. Like it just seems really impersonal, and that's not how couples argue. That's not how they deal with situations. If this was a new couple, if they had only been dating for a few months, sure.
Yeah, but they're a year and some change.
Live together, like so serious that Abby is considering proposing to Mackenzie. And yeah, it's just, there's just not the chemistry there. And I didn't notice that the first time we watched it. This is the second time we're watching this movie. And maybe I just really wanted to believe that there was chemistry there, but I mean, look, Kristen Stewart, she is so confident in her every single thing that she does. Yeah. Even though she's like a little awkward person, that she could have chemistry with anyone that is willing to reciprocate it, you know? Yeah. I think that she really shines in that way as an actress.
Definitely.
Maybe not in Twilight, but that's another
especially
story.
In Twilight.
That's another story for another podcast with Miss Ali Seha.
Oh.
Shout out to Ali.
Another thing I want to point out is like the comedy in this romantic comedy feels different than most romantic comedies, because usually when you have a romantic comedy, it's like, this is very obviously a joke. I want you to laugh right now.
Right. It's pretty contrived.
Yeah. It's very normie, for lack of a better term. Yeah. But the comedy in this is very subtle. It's very natural. Yeah. Even when you have characters like Jane, the very weird, eccentric sister. Right. It feels natural. Yeah. And that could have been because, what's that actress's name?
Mary Holland.
Mary Holland co-wrote this.
She co-wrote this movie.
So that could definitely be part of that. But yeah.
But she's also like this girl, if I'm not mistaken, and don't quote me on this, I think she's from New York, and she's just in that like New York comedy scene. Like this just feels very like now, like the comedy just feels right.
Yeah, it does.
And Miss Mary, I can't say her last name. Steenenberg?
Hold up.
Who plays Tipper? She is an iconic comedy queen. I mean, you have seen her. Steenbergen, yes. You've seen her in countless things, even if you haven't realized
Step
it.
Brothers, one of the most iconic comedies ever. She's in that.
Yes. And she plays the mom, and she just plays this very specific mom. And she's like obviously a very conservative woman in this movie. She makes a comment that I had to write down because they ask her like why she didn't turn her some room in their house into an office, and she was like, "Oh, men need offices, dear." And she just says like really vaguely sexist things from the moment we meet her. Right away, she's like putting down her daughters and saying vaguely sexist things and just being like an overall very waspy mother.
But the satire from her characters is
right,
so good.
And it immediately sets up like a really clear understanding of this family situation for us that makes us understand like, okay, it kind of does make sense that Harper hasn't come out yet considering all of this. And it really, it kind of pulls you in two different directions as an audience member. And I really enjoy that. We also see right away, this family is obviously very well off. Huge house,
many rooms.
A basement. Who has a basement? No one in California. Yeah. We're just not a basement state, I guess.
I guess not.
I've heard. Because we don't have tornadoes. That's why.
Oh. Is that?
I guess basements are specifically for when you have a tornado.
I never knew that.
Maybe. I don't know.
Anyways.
we have earthquakes, though. So, and yeah, if you were in a basement during an earthquake and... look, this is not important. Anyway, so I think so far, look, I really enjoy this movie, regardless of some of the issues that we do have with it.
Right.
But those issues are not huge enough for me to not enjoy the comedy, especially, and just the performances in general. You know, Mackenzie Davis does give a good performance outside of her relationship to Kristen Stewart.
Yeah, and I think she gets better towards the end. We'll get into that.
Yes, we will.
But right now we're going to hop back into the movie and then come back and tell you what it's all about.
Let's go.
Just be yourself, but don't lie. You're a very bad liar.
Riley, Harper, this is Abby. Abby is my orphan roommate. I am an orphan, but we live together as friends, like acquaintances.
Oh, please stop.
Yeah.
Guess what I got? Popcorn!
I didn't even realize you started recording on Muncha Crunching over here. I am eating caramel corn and cheddar popcorn together, which I think is a Chicago thing. I don't know, but it's actually really good.
That's the stuff right there.
It is the stuff.
Okay.
Yes.
Ready?
Yes. So we're back into it.
We're about like halfway through the movie now.
Yes. And let's figure out what we've seen now. Tensions begin to rise between the two lovers during their visit as Abby seems to notice Harper is a completely different person around the high expectations of her parents. And run-ins with two of Harper's exes, Connor and Riley Johnson, played by Jake McDorman and the Aubrey Plaza.
We love her.
Only adds fuel to the fire.
Yeah, so this is where...
Aubrey Plaza, let's go!
This is where shit really starts to go down. Mm-hmm. So...
I'm so sorry. Can you hear me?
Oh my God. Okay, so first, they end up going to dinner. Mm-hmm. And lo and behold, her damn parents are like, you know what we should do? Invite Harper's ex-boyfriend from high school to
Without
dinner.
telling her.
Or anyone.
Literally, when he shows up, I wrote down in my little notes, I said, this fucking dude. This Chad.
Yeah, he definitely looks like a Chad.
He's like nice.
Yeah, he's nice.
But he is a Chad.
He's very much like a probably peaked in high school type of guy.
Yeah.
So they all sit at the dinner table, and you pointed this out.
Yeah.
You notice that Abby has to sit in the one seat that looks different from...
Mm-hmm. It's like literally like a stool. Like it doesn't have a back. It's tiny. That was just a nice little detail. There's just small things that I'm noticing the second time around that are like, oh. Yeah, like that was really good.
Yeah, so they're all talking about some trip that they went on when I can't remember her damn name. I keep forgetting Harper. Yeah.
Yes.
That they went on when Harper was younger, and damn Connor was there.
Right.
And so Harper and Abby go to the restroom, in quotation marks, to the restroom.
Go to the bathroom.
Just to argue, really.
Right. And Abby's kind of being a little petty about it because she's like really trying to get all the tea on her girlfriend and is obviously shocked by these stories that she's hearing. And Harper's like, do you want to go to the bathroom? And should we go to the bathroom? And Abby is like, no, I think I want to hear these stories, actually. But they go to the bathroom anyway.
And she's like, what the fuck? I don't know you. What's going on?
Right.
And then when they're leaving the bathroom, they run into Aubrey Plaza.
Woo!
And she's like...
Literally, they were like, no more surprises.
Yeah,
and then they open the door and there is motherfucking Aubrey Plaza. I'm sorry. Aubrey Plaza is... she's it.
Yeah. And also, she is bisexual, right?
I think so. I don't know. Let me check.
So we got a little bit of actual representation, which we were talking about earlier.
Let's take a look. Aubrey.
But anyways, so that happens, and then we go back to the dinner table, and they're talking about Riley, Aubrey Plaza's character, and they're talking about, oh, she did this thing. That's really awesome. And then I think it was Tipper who said that lifestyle choice.
Yes, I wrote that down too.
Yeah.
There's just small seeds that they're planting that are letting us know, like, or reminding us that, like, oh, this family would probably not be accepting if this article is not actually telling me.
I'm pretty sure she is. Either way, it's not important. It's not important right now.
Right.
So that happens, and then they go back to the house, and the next day... Oh, you're killing me right now with the phone, baby.
I was looking up if Aubrey Plaza was bi or not, and she is.
Okay, see, I was right. I told you.
You were right.
Okay. So then the next day, Abby wakes up, and then these fucking kids, the Shining style.
These weird ass kids.
The more inclusive Shining is happening right now. We got these two kids staring the fuck down at Abby, and we're like, what the fuck? And then this is when we finally actually see Sloane.
Right.
And
Miss Allison.
Yes, you can tell she's like, oh.
She has a severe long bob, which immediately is like, oh, so she's the rude one.
Yeah.
So she's the helicopter mom. Interesting.
Yeah. It's like in movies like this, when a character has a bob, it's like they're super uptight.
Yeah.
And then it's like if you watch like a blockbuster, a superhero movie, or like a Jurassic World movie, that's the character who's like, I don't need this superhero man.
Right.
You know, Hope Van Dyne style type of thing.
The severe cut is for a severe personality.
Yeah.
So this is the day that they all go ice skating, yes?
Yeah, but even before then, you can tell Sloane and Harper.
Oh my God.
They got some competition.
Right away, I wrote down, whoa, they literally hate each other right away. Immediately, it's just jab after jab after jab. Like, wow.
They're so competitive. Because it's like, they're the two sisters that really all of the burden is placed on in terms of expectations, because Jane is just weird.
Yeah, nobody...
They gave up on her.
They don't consider Jane to even be a part of the sisters.
Yeah, so...
Well, and it also doesn't help that Sloane, like, fell from grace, you know, when she stopped being a lawyer. Yeah. So she obviously has a lot of resentment.
There's a bunch of little things, like... later on, after this ice skating scene where they race each other, and it's...
Oh, my God.
It's very funny. But they go to, like, this Christmas party with a bunch of politicians that... Ted is trying to impress. And there's a part where Ted is going to talk to somebody that he's trying to get a donation from. And he brings Harper with him. And then Sloane is like, oh, I should come too. And then he's like, no, you can stay here.
Right. And then she gets pissed.
Yeah.
It's, wow. I mean, I personally have 2 sisters. There's 3 of us. And this is not my experience with having sisters whatsoever. We are not mean to each other in this way. I know a lot of people, you know, maybe do have this experience with sisters. There's like the saying that, oh, they fight like sisters for a reason.
Sibling rivalry.
Yeah. But like, I have a dad who also is, you know, my dad shows us all off equally. Yeah. Not in the way that Mr. Victor Garber does. He can't find a way to be proud of all of his children for their various accomplishments, which is kind of sad because we do find out later that like Jane really does have some really cool accomplishments too. Yeah. And she's working on a book. And it's nerdy and silly, but...
That's actually one of my favorite parts of the
But it's a book, nonetheless.
Is this book that she's creating.
And they tried to drag her for it. Jane is undraggable because she's just like... She doesn't have, I don't know, like the social skills to understand that she's being dragged or something. And they were like, wow, Jane, you're still working on that book. It's been like 10 years. And she's like, yeah,
it takes a long time to build a world.
And she's right. It does. Queen shit.
And this party is important because at one point, Sloane goes up to Abby, who's by herself now at this party, and starts... You can tell she's starting to catch on to the fact that they have a relationship because she's like, oh, isn't Harper's place a 1-bedroom? Right. And then Abby is not good at lying and has to find a way to get out of it. And it doesn't work. So she goes outside and calls up Mr. Dan Levy, John. Right. And spilling the tea. And then Riley is also at the party. And is also outside at this time, trying to take a break because she's a doctor. She's doing her residency, so everybody wants her to diagnose their mystery illnesses. So she says, and she starts to hint at the fact that Harper was also in the closet during their relationship and was not going to come out no matter what. Right. She says. Sorry, go ahead. No, you finish. Sorry. Oh, she was saying, like, I know what you're going through. And then Abby was like, what am I going through? Right. But it's weird because, like, Abby knows that what's his character's name? Riley? Yeah. Abby knows that Riley is an ex. Like, she knows this. Yeah. She knows that they were together. So it's interesting to me that she's not even, like, taking this moment to be like, oh, you're, like, the only other person in on this secret. Yeah. Like what? But you can tell, like, with her conversations with John that she's just trying to rationalize everything. Yes, that is a really good point that I wanted to talk about is when she called John and tried to explain to him the situation of what's going on back at the ranch. She's like, the way she's telling him everything is obviously her trying to rationalize it to herself as well. And that's definitely a credit to Kristen Stewart. That conversation was very well done. I really, really enjoyed that. And also something I wanted to point out about Sloane and her husband, her weird husband, and their like gift baskets. His name is Eric, by the way. Yes, Eric. He's played by... He's actually not weird. He's like kind of a charming guy. Yeah. Who's the actor? Oh, something Mosley. Shoot. Hold up. I'm IMDb'ing it right now. Burl Mosley. Good job, dude. You're doing great. They're like in the car and Abby, you know, trying to make conversation because this is her girlfriend's family. She does want to get to know them and them get to know her. She's like, so you guys make gift baskets? And Sloane is like, no, we make hand curated gift experiences that come in wooden vessels. Yeah, reclaimed wooden vessels. And Gwyneth Paltrow, she just picked us up on Gloop. So our sales have gone through the roof. And that was so... funny to me. That's so like hipster gentrification-esque language, reclaimed wood and a handcrafted experience. that was just such a good little detail. I thought it was really funny. We also have this scene where Abby tries to sneak to see Harper. They're like texting and she's like, come see me. I am like so hot. Hey, Sexer.
Hey, Sexer.
Hey,
Here is a
Sexer.
picture of my collarbone. Please.
I know you like the collarbone like so bad.
She's like, what are you doing? And Abby's brushing her teeth, and she's like, this is what I'm doing. And it's literally a picture of her collarbone. What? What are you doing, girl? It's not adding up.
No, so then she tries to sneak around. Mm-hmm. Of course, everyone's awake.
Right.
I don't know what time. I don't know when she's trying to go to bed, but for some reason, everybody's awake still.
Right.
And so she gets almost caught, and then she goes inside of a closet. Ha ha.
Ha ha ha.
And so she's bumping around, and then boom. Roomba time. And the Roomba comes out.
DJ Roomba.
DJ Roomba, ready to drop the beat. And the Roomba comes out, or Tipper opens the closet.
Uh-huh.
And the Roomba comes out, and then there's this line that I think is pretty funny. She said, Abby, what are you doing in the closet? It's like a little ha-ha. See.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the line where she was like...
That one was funny,
I took too many Ambien and then I bought a racehorse. because Abby was like, oh, I was sleepwalking. Yeah. My question is, why couldn't she have just been like, oh, I'm just like kind of lonely. I want to hang out with my friend.
Yeah, I was thinking that the entire time. It was extra.
You're two grown women.
I feel like
you can hang out with your friends.
Yeah, I feel like the only reason they did that was for that ironic closet line.
Absolutely, but you know what? I didn't mind.
No.
Yes, I could see how this character could have gotten around that, but I was like, y'all are just making this too complicated, too hard on yourselves.
So then they kissy
and mwah
mwah, and then they fall asleep, and then boom, it's morning, and they're like, oh no.
And knock, knock, knock.
It's
Tipper's at the door.
Tipper's at the door. And
with
also
thing one and thing two.
And they're all talking, and then Harper is hiding behind the door.
Uh-huh.
And the two kids are looking through the crack, and they say, hold on a minute.
They make eye contact.
It's
like dramatic. Boom. Boom. That's what I picture in my mind.
That's what you hear in your mind?
Yeah. You don't picture
You picture
sounds.
the waveforms in your
Right.
So then they start talking about they're getting ready for like a white elephant gift exchange.
Uh-huh.
And we're about to watch that right now.
Yeah, we're about to watch them go shopping for a gift.
Bells ring out on the
I can relate to being in love with somebody that is too afraid to show the world who they are.
What are you doing in the closet?
All right, so we know things are getting a little spicy. Mm-hmm. Not in a good way, though.
No.
Not in a good way. It's more like when you eat hot food and then it comes out your booty and it burns.
Oh.
That's what the situation we're in right now.
Yes.
So, Ted's attempts to impress a possible donor for his campaign are now put into jeopardy when Sloane's misbehaved children place a necklace inside Abby's bag, creating the appearance that Abby is a shoplifter. Mm-hmm. With a new unsavory reputation pinned to her presence, Ted and Tipper decide it might be better for Abby to keep her distance from any gatherings for the moment. Now, more than ever, Abby feels like an outsider, and on top of learning from Riley that Harper has been denying her sexuality since high school, she begins to seriously reconsider the longevity of their relationship. Mm-hmm. All right, so there's a lot in this portion of the movie.
This is like where a majority of the snowball is.
Yeah.
Picking up more snow.
Drama-filled snowflakes.
Yes, definitely. These damn kids.
These damn kids, I swear.
These damn kids.
They're really just trying to ruin everything.
Evil for what? For what?
I mean...
For evil's sake?
For evil's sake, I guess. So they're going with Abby, Sloane, and the kids go to the mall to find a white elephant gift.
Right.
And so we have the kids end up with Abby.
Yes. She's watching them while Sloane does something.
something about, what was the author?
Something about Sylvia Plath.
Yeah, something about the entire collection of Sylvia Plath. So she's looking through this jewelry store looking for a gift for Harper. And
for White Elephant.
Oh, you're right, for White Elephant. And the kids are like, why was Auntie Harper hiding behind your door?
No, it was, why was Auntie Harper hiding behind your door? It was the most monotone performance from a child actor. I think on purpose. I'll give the children that.
It's definitely on purpose, but also kids, come on.
Right.
I'm scared of them.
They are performing evil very well.
Yeah. So these nosy ass kids are asking all this, and when Abby doesn't really give them a real answer, she turns around to look at something. These damn kids place a necklace inside her bag. She goes and walks out, and then we have these very funny security guards come up and be like,
Lauren Lapkus. I love her.
And I don't know the guy's name.
And this other guy who are very funny.
His name is Timothy Simmons.
Good job, buddy.
He very often plays a security guard.
That makes sense. He has that energy.
Yeah.
They have a little moment where they're grilling Abby. It's just very funny. And then someone flips the lights on and ruins their little facade of a
good
jail.
Good cop, bad cop moment.
Eugene. What the hell, Eugene? Talking about damn cruffins. So Abby,
I don't even know what cruffins are.
It's a croissant and a muffin put together. Like a croissant cronut.
Okay.
I understand why Eugene interrupted. I would want a cruffin as well.
Too. I would want that.
I would require a cruffin.
I could go for a cruffin right now.
And maybe I'll get some at the store. I don't think they're a real thing. They might be. Who knows? Cross-pollination of bakery items.
Anyways.
So the point is, Abby is now in deep shit with the family.
Yeah, so
Tipper won't even look at her.
Seriously, yeah.
So she is not allowed to go to this dinner. She is just left to her own devices in this town that she's not from. And Harper's like, oh, hey, can we hang out with my friends after the dinner? Because they want to hang out. I want to hang out with them. And I think we just need a break from our family, from my family. So she's like, yeah, sure, whatever.
And so before all those people hang out, she ends up hanging out with, she runs into Riley again.
Right.
And you said this, I also wanted to mention it. Riley and Abby have 1,000% more chemistry than
right off the bat.
So much.
And it's because Aubrey Plaza is also so incredibly confident that she could have chemistry with anyone.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just sparks are flying right away.
Yeah.
And Abby's lamenting to her. She really wants a drink. So they go to this drag bar.
Yes.
Where we have the drag queens Ben de la Creme and Jinx Monsoon performing their little thing here, their little show. And we only know the names of these drag queens in the movie because we watch everything with subtitles because I think a lot of people do that, but I don't know. My parents make us feel like we're freaks for doing that. But so their drag names in this movie. One of them is named Miss Leteau. Makes sense. Very good. Very Christmas. And then Jinx Monsoon's character is MK Ultra, which is very Jinx Monsoon. They must have just let them come up with their own names.
Probably.
So silly. So they're kind of just, shooting the shit, and then they get into a deeper conversation.
Yeah. And Riley goes into the whole story of how they dated and how her and Harper dated in high school. Mm-hmm. And there was this very traumatizing moment where somebody found the letters that Riley was sending to Harper in Harper's locker.
They would send them back and forth.
Yeah, they would send them back and forth.
But they only found the one from Riley.
Yeah, they only found the one from Riley. And then Harper was like, oh yeah, she's gay and has been bothering me this whole time.
Right. Which I think is very important to note because she also, Aubrey Plaza's character Riley is and everybody was really shitty to me.
Yeah.
They were so rude. So it kind of is just showing us that Harper's fear of being her true self has a history of hurting her partners.
Yeah.
And that really sucks. And it really starts to make us see Harper in a different light now that we know this.
Mm-hmm.
Sad.
And on top of that, then we go to this next scene. And before that, there's this little sweet moment where the drag queens are singing and they come over to Abby and Riley, and Abby doesn't want to sing at first, but then Riley gets her too. Yeah, Riley gets her too. It's a little sweet moment.
Right. It's like a nice moment that is broken up by Abby getting a text from Harper. And then it's like kind of awkward. She's like, oh, like Harper.
Yeah, especially because there's, at this point, Riley goes and sits next to her. First, she's sitting across from her, and then after that moment, she goes and sits next to her, like super close.
And they're like so comfortable together.
Yeah.
So like everybody on Twitter when this movie came out was like, what the fuck? Like they should be together. Like, what's up with that?
I do want to talk about that after this last part of the movie. Because I think, just looking at it at this point in the movie, like, yeah, it would be cool. It would be probably more satisfying for these two characters to get together. But there's also a lot of issues with that.
Right.
So, but we'll talk about that later.
We'll get into that. So then after this whole thing with Riley, Abby goes to hang out with Harper's friends, where again, she's just like a completely unrecognizable person.
Yeah. And she really starts to show how shitty she is, because Abby's there, and then she's there for a little bit. She decides to leave early. And Harper stays there until 2 a.m.
With just her
ex-boyfriend.
Not even the other friends are there. Like, literally, when they walk out of the bar, like, it's because the bar closed.
Yeah.
And he's like, this was fun. Like, I'm so glad you came out, which...
But she didn't
joke.
really come out. Yeah, because... Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go. Sorry.
He's like, I always feel like there was something you weren't telling me.
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah. And she's like, no.
She still
won't come out. Even though he's not part of the family, he would probably keep it a secret.
Right.
She won't even tell him.
Right.
And it's like, wow, man. And so, well.
Abby's like texting her.
Yeah, Abby's texting her. She ends up going to sleep. She wakes up the next morning and sees that Harper made it home safe.
At like past 2 a.m.
Yeah, so she goes and talks to her, makes sure that she's actually okay.
Right.
And then
being nice.
Yeah, and Harper's all defensive.
What the hell? She's like, you're suffocating me. I just don't know why you're like keeping tabs on me. Like, it was so rude.
Yeah, and then she's like,
so rude.
I think maybe we just need a little space.
Like, what the hell?
And Abby's like, bro, this is where she reaches her breaking point.
And
like,
this was a good moment too, when she was about to she was reaching her breaking point, and she was like, she was about to say, I was going to propose to you. Yeah. And she holds herself back. This is Kristen Stewart acting like a real person having a fight with their significant other, like almost saying something mean or that they didn't want to say and stopping themselves.
I will also say Mackenzie Davis's performance starts picking up here.
Yeah.
This is the point of the movie where she really starts acting very well.
I would agree.
It's a lot less of that stilted sort of dialogue that we got earlier.
Yeah. But God, I hated it. I was so mad.
And then she calls up John, and John's like, oh, fuck. I literally don't even know what to say.
Right.
And
he like hangs up on her.
Yeah, he hangs up on her. She's trying to get a ride out of here. It's like $1,000.
Yeah. Where are they?
That's a good... I honestly don't know.
I don't know, but honestly, it doesn't matter that much. They're just like somewhere where it snows, and they're $1,000 Uber ride away from Pittsburgh. So you do the math, audience.
So, what's her name? Harper. I don't know why I keep forgetting her name. Harper's just such a strange name to me.
I love the name Harper.
Okay.
I've told you that.
Anyways, Harper is like, she has to go run some errands for the Christmas party, the official, the Christmas party, with Jane. And while she's doing these errands, she ends up spotting Abby with Riley.
Right.
And then it's like, uh-oh, scandalous.
And she's pissed. You were just rude.
Yeah.
You were just the one who was like, we need space.
Also, you were just the one that stayed out till 2 a.m. with your ex-boyfriend.
Right.
Who thinks that you're straight.
Right. And you have left your girlfriend alone in this place where she doesn't know anybody. Like, you can't be upset at her for leaning on somebody. Like, I don't know. I understand that you get paranoid because they're both amazing, beautiful lesbian women, but then get your shit together, girl. What the hell?
Yeah, so then we're finally at the Christmas party. The tension between the energy there is just like so awkward. And now Abby's lying too, saying that she Harper was asking, "Oh, what were you doing today?" Right. And then she's just lying. She said nothing about Riley.
She technically was telling the truth, but she was omitting the part that she was with Riley.
She was doing what we call...
they didn't get to it.
Yeah, she was doing what we call beating around the bush.
Right.
Which, beating around the bush, I'm pretty sure that's what she's supposed to be doing with Harper, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh my god, baby. Oh no. Don't come for him, please. Well,
sorry.
It looks like we are about to be led into a whole bunch of hijinks and bamboozlement. So, you ready to watch the last little bit?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Do you know how painful it's been to watch the person that I love hide me?
I am not hiding you. I am hiding me.
Everybody's story is different. Just because Harper isn't ready doesn't mean she doesn't love you.
Okay, we're back. We finished the movie. So, let's get into it. On the night of Harper's family's Christmas party, John shows up unannounced to the relief and surprise of the now completely fed up Abby. In private, Harper begs Abby to stay, and as they lean in for a kiss, they are caught red-handed by Sloane. Sloane begins to run to the living room to expose their relationship to the entire family, and as the two struggle to stop each other, they come across Sloane's husband, Eric, played by Burl Mosley. We already discussed that, actually. Yeah. With another woman who is the campaign manager of the dad. Revealing that the two are getting a divorce and are hiding it from the family. Harper now plans to expose Sloane, and they, along with their third sister Jane, who just wants to be included, fight in front of everyone at the party, which ends in Sloane outing Harper, which she immediately denies, leaving Abby heartbroken. As her and John leave, he reminds Abby that coming out is one of the hardest things anyone can do, but doesn't affect Harper's love for her. Coming to the realization that staying in the closet is doing her more harm than good, Harper fesses up to her family and tells them that she's lesbian. This urges both sisters to make confessions of their own and open up about how hard it is to live up to their parents' expectations. Harper then leaves to find Abby and apologizes for everything that happened, confessing her undying love for Abby. They seal the apology with a romantic kiss and get back together. Ted apologizes to his daughters for always making them feel like they had to be perfect and denies an offer from the donor he was trying to impress, who requests that Harper stay silent about her sexuality. The family then takes a holiday picture with Abby included, and we cut to next year where Abby and Harper are now engaged, and the film ends on a sweet note with the family going to see It's a Wonderful Life at the movies, looking as happy as can be.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
All right, so...
I literally could not even take notes on the last part of this because...
It's very good.
It's very good.
It's very
was
captivating.
Enthralled.
Yeah. This is definitely the best arc of the movie.
Yeah.
Act.
Yes.
So, by the way, at this Christmas party, everybody and their mama there.
Yeah.
Like,
everybody.
Like, we're talking, for some reason, Connor is there.
Connor, the friends from high school.
Yes. Riley is also there.
Riley's
and of
family.
Course, Abby and Riley are just hanging out the entire time, getting nasty looks from Harper.
Right.
And, like we said, John shows up, and he...
Unannounced,
and he starts to pretend to be Abby's ex-boyfriend.
Yes. Foolish. No one is buying this.
No.
There's no way.
My favorite part is when he is talking to Connor, and he goes, so, do you pump? What? Wait.
And he's like, how much do you bench? And he's like, 1,000. 1,000 plus.
It's just so like stereotypical straight guy conversation.
Yeah. It's
Listen,
very funny.
coming from a straight guy, if anybody, I've had people talk to me like that before. Like, I can't forget this one guy that came up to me in the gym one time.
Oh
He's like,
my God.
hey bro, can I work out with you, man? I'm like, I don't know who the fuck you are. Please leave me alone. And he started talking about weights and stuff. I'm like, I'm literally just trying to work out. Even if we weren't in the gym right now, I would not want to talk about this.
Right. That dude was weird. So I'm really counting on you. I think you took notes here.
Because you didn't take any notes?
No,
you're feeling a little tired too.
I'm feeling. I need some cold brew. Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyways, and also during this whole Christmas party, Harper is like all touchy and flirty with Connor. And
yeah,
it's like
crazy.
Dude, come on. So we're already like hating Harper at this point, which this next scene makes up for. When she's begging Abby to stay and everything, like
she does have a good moment that really reveals how messed up she has been from these expectations of her parents that she's internalized.
Yeah,
and I really relate to her in that way.
Yeah, she is stuck between a rock and a hard place, if you will. Because if she comes out to her parents, they may not accept her anymore. They may shun her. Right. But if she doesn't come out, then she's going to lose Abby.
Right.
So you really understand why she's been going through this whole situation to begin with, and you feel for her.
Right.
Does it excuse everything she's done? No, not at all.
Absolutely not.
But it absolutely makes you feel for her.
The thing is, sorry you guys, I'm yawning. The thing is, the
Yawniest season.
The Yawniest season. You're so silly. Nothing could excuse the way she has been acting towards Abby. And that's just that. Yeah. Yes, we could have the whole situation of her still being in the closet. Yes, we can have the whole situation of them needing to hide that Abby is gay and that she needs to be pretending to be straight. But she's still being rude and dismissive.
That's the thing. And yes, I understand the stress and everything, but you just don't have to be like
You
that.
just don't. Especially knowing the situation you're putting your significant other in. There is nothing that could excuse the choices that she then continued to make to put her in even worse situations. Yeah. It's just sad. And her little monologue was good. And Mackenzie really steps up her acting game here.
Yeah,
she has her moments.
Yeah. I did want to talk about that. It's interesting how she can act pain better than she can act love. Yeah. And I think the reason for this is, I'm sure she's included, everybody has experienced heartbreak before. But when you're playing towards a different sexuality, it's a little bit different.
Yeah, difficult. I mean, it's a stretch, definitely. Yeah. It's
because you don't really have...
It's outside of your...
Since she's a straight actress, she doesn't really have anything to like reach for in terms of having romantic feelings toward somebody of the same gender. Which
to me, she just needs to crack open a little Uta Hagen book, get a little more training in that brain, because you should be able to supplement any. Uta Hagen says that you have felt every feeling you will ever feel in your life by the time you turn 20 years old. Uta Hagen is this old acting. She's dead now, I believe. Rest in peace, Uta. She's not like super old, but she was like really big in the 90s and the 80s as acting teacher, coach. And I really like her method and like how she approaches things. A lot of theater students have studied Uta Hagen, and Miss Mackenzie, you just need to do a little of that, because it's a stretch, but like, I'm sure Mackenzie Davis has been in love with someone.
I know. Yeah, definitely. You know? I was just saying that that was probably why their chemistry was a little off.
Absolutely. I agree. But as an actress, she should be able to pull it off regardless.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
That's the thing.
Onto this like speech that John has about coming out and stuff. Yeah. They could not have picked a better person in this movie to tell the speech than Dan Levy. Yeah. The amount of passion and just realness that he brings to this is just like
Yeah.
you just can't help but shed a tear.
And the wisdom, like, it's just, I don't know, he just has a manner of speaking, and like, just the facial expressions that he does. I don't know, there's just something special about, you know, in Schitt's Creek, his character has a few moments like this as well. And he's just very good at this kind of a conversation. He's just that wise friend that you have, where when you have those moments with him, it's like, oh, wow. Oh, shit. Okay. It's just very resonant. He just does a really, really beautiful job. Basically, he's saying, like, everybody's coming out story is different. Like, your parents are very accepting of you. Mine kicked me out of the house. Yeah. And like, this is okay. As I have stated earlier, I have many, many, many friends who are in the LGBTQIA community who I've had conversations with. A few of my friends who are romantically interested in somebody who is still in the closet. Right. And a lot of them have gone through this multiple times and have been burned by it in the past, and now are deciding, like, I don't want to do that anymore. Like, I don't want to hide myself. And it's just like, yes, it's such a personal and difficult thing for so many people to come out, but it's also a very difficult, and like, it makes people who have already come out kind of have to relive the trauma that they've been through. So it's hard because, like, you have to have compassion for your partner who is struggling with coming out, but you also have to have compassion for the partner that does not want to live a quiet life anymore because they were forced to for so long. And I actually wanted to bring this up. I mentioned earlier how it would probably be more satisfying for Kristen Stewart's character and Aubrey Plaza's character to get together. But at the same time, that would kind of belittle and negate the whole struggle of coming out to begin with. Right. Which is kind of the entire focus of this movie. Right. But also at the same time, yes, exactly what you said. Yeah. It also is so hard for people who have already come out and are experiencing that trauma again. Right. So this movie had a very difficult, just like Mackenzie Davis's character, stuck between a rock and a hard place. Exactly. It's just, there's such good conflict that is very representative of a lot of the things that people of this community do go through in real life. And we don't need to get into it again, but perhaps we should have had another person of this community portraying the character of Harper. Yeah. But after this conversation with Dan Levy, Kristen Stewart is like, I don't think I want to be with someone who isn't ready. Yeah. You know, she comes to that conclusion. And like we said, that is understandable. And that is setting a boundary for yourself. Yeah. And that's healthy and good for yourself, right? So what's next? I also just want to bring this up real quick. It's interesting to me that, as far as I know, this is the only romantic comedy that has any sort of lesbian couple as the focal point. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, specifically romantic comedy. Right. Right, but and also the only gay romantic comedy I can think of is Love, Simon. Right. Both of these movies focus on characters that have to come out. There hasn't been like a romantic comedy of any sort of LGBTQIA plus representation that just focuses on a relationship. Right. At least, I'm sorry, I just Googled it. It seems like there have been some indie movies or smaller movies that have been featuring or centered around a lesbian couple, but not in a way that is truly representative of... Right. And of the real struggles. And it makes sense that there's some indie movies like that, but this is more the big leagues here. Right. And as far as the big leagues go, we have Love, Simon, we have Happiest Season, and that's it. Right. So it's just kind of like, when are we going to get something that's like just a regular story instead of trauma porn? Right. Exactly. When are we going to have a meet cute? Yeah. When are we going to just be able to live in that happy land of rom-coms, I want like a disgustingly cliche LGBT rom-com. Absolutely. Let's get some non-binary representation in there. Like, it's just crazy to me that we're this far in society. Right.
and this type of movie hasn't been made yet.
Exactly. Yeah. We need it.
Yeah.
And like people of all different identities have meet cutes every day.
Yeah, so it's not like it would be so niche to have somebody who's not fucking straight to have a meet cute.
Exactly.
People are still going to identify with it.
Exactly. So many people.
That's why the character of like Spider-Man works so well. Mm-hmm. If we're talking about specifically Peter Parker, it doesn't really matter that he's white.
Right.
Yes, a character like Miles Morales that a lot of people will connect with more just because he is Black, Hispanic, biracial, whatever.
And in his character, that affects how he lives.
that affects how he lives. But it's more about he's just human.
Right.
And he experiences everything that every type of person experiences.
Right. And love is universal.
Yeah, so
thankfully.
Make it happen, Hollywood.
Let's fucking go. Okay? Thank you.
Okay, moving on. Also, I want to talk about Aubrey Plaza's performance when she says goodbye to Harper. The very subtle pain in her face is just heart-wrenching.
I love that she didn't forgive her.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because Harper was like, I'm so sorry. And it's lovely that she acknowledged that she hurt her and apologized. But it's also lovely that obviously Aubrey Plaza's character has grown so much since being hurt by Harper.
Yeah.
And she didn't need that sorry because she got over it. She reckoned with it a long time ago. And it's just, again, boundary setting that is very important for her to not have forgiven Harper and kind of like absolved her of the guilt that she absolutely should have felt over that. Yeah. You know?
And then we have that scene where Harper comes out.
Right.
And that is a great character building scene for her.
Yeah.
It's pretty much more so than Harper begging Abby to stay. It's really the turning point for her character.
Yeah. And it happens at the very last minute.
Yeah, pretty much.
It happens at the 11th hour.
And in at this point in the movie, in Abby's eyes, it's just too late.
Yeah, she literally says that.
Yeah.
Like Harper has this whole moment of coming out and saying, I love Abby so much. And what else did she say? There's so much that she says about like, she thought she had to be perfect and like keep up appearances for her dad and all this stuff. And then Abby is like, I'm sorry. Like, it's too late.
Yeah.
Literally. And the moment where Harper breaks down crying and is just so shocked that she finally did the thing. She did it. And it still was not enough. Like, she's still lost.
Yeah, you can still see that she hasn't fully grown as a character because she's like, I did it.
Right. And expecting that to be, okay, now I get to have all being stuck between the rock and the hard place. I don't have to lose anything in this situation.
Yeah.
I made the decision, and so now I should be rewarded. And she wasn't. But when she starts crying, that really got me both times.
Yeah.
Both times that we watched this.
Also, the sisters have their own confessions. Sloane admits that she's getting a divorce. And then we have this. This is going to be our positive. Somebody actually wrote that.
Oh, man.
For this episode.
Somebody actually wrote that. This is our little moment where we acknowledge a line in the movie we are discussing that is just... wow, that is mind-blowing. And this one, it's positive. This movie was very well written.
Yeah.
There was nothing that really kind of took us out of the moment. But this is my favorite line in the whole movie. After the sisters are telling their secrets, Miss Jane, our favorite sister and the co-author of this,
well, she is an author in the movie.
She is an author in the movie. But Mary Holland, who co-wrote this movie, she comes up after the sisters are telling their secrets because she just wants to be included. And she says, I don't have any secrets, but I am an ally. And that's just how that scene ends.
And we identify with that.
Yes, we do.
Thank you.
I love, it was just, that was just so funny. And I loved that.
Yeah. So there's also a point I want to bring up. Ted and Tipper have like a little conversation. Mm-hmm. And Tipper's like, making all these confessions, like, I've wanted to do karate forever, but I know it's not proper.
Right.
And just basically being like, none of us are perfect. we should just stop the ruse.
Right. Like,
know?
look how much damage we did trying to act perfect. And we did the opposite of what we were intending to do. So that was a nice moment to see a lot of character growth from Tipper in that moment.
But Ted is still being a little just... What would you call it? Brooding, I guess?
Definitely brooding. Definitely brooding.
So finally, Harper goes out to try to find Abby, and ironically, the gas station that she's at is Love's.
Oh.
Which I only noticed the second time.
I didn't even notice that.
I was like, okay, that's kind of cute. That's funny.
Yeah.
And the big speech that Harper has, it's nothing special. It's sweet.
Yeah.
But it wasn't fantastic. There was nothing that I was like, wow, that really got me. It was just,
she's just like groveling. She's like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'll make it up to you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And something silly I noticed is Kristen Stewart licks her lips before kissing someone in every movie that she has a kiss in, I'm pretty sure. She did it every time they kissed in this.
I'm glad that she makes sure that her lips are moist so nobody gets some crusty ass lips.
Good job, Kristen. Very considerate. Very considerate.
So when we move on to the actual Christmas day, Christmas morning, them evil ass kids.
They just want their damn candy.
They finally fess up and are like, we put the necklace inside the bag.
Let's say it monotone like them together. 1, 2, 3.
We put the necklace in the
Abby's bag. Okay, we messed it up a little bit, but these evil ass children fess up, and there's no. I like that they fessed up, but there's like. Nobody's like, oh my God.
Yeah. It's
Abby,
just
we're so sorry.
Kristen Stewart doing her signature smirk.
Yeah.
That was it.
Right. So, like, that was like a fun moment or whatever. It wasn't unnecessary, but it also wasn't necessary because there was no payoff to that.
Yeah. So,
other than the children getting to eat candy.
Yeah. And then Ted has his speech where he's like, okay, I guess we should just... Well, he's basically like, I'm sorry that I've made you feel like you had to work for my love. Like, nothing would ever get in the way with that.
In typical dad fashion, the next day, after the mistake, once he was done being brooding and he is ready to admit that he made a mistake, but in his own way. Yeah. He was like, I just wanted you guys to be proud of me.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
For his damn campaign or whatever.
Okay. You're my dad. What? Crazy. But it is sweet.
Yeah, it's sweet. And so they take their family picture, their Christmas picture finally. And then we jump to, in cliche fashion. Oh, and
Abby is included in the family picture. And John, this is kind of important. So we find Jane telling John about her like crazy book that she's been writing. And we learned way earlier in the movie when we first met John that he's like an author agent.
Was that a thing?
Yeah.
He says
because he's he's covering pet sitting for Abby, and Abby's like trying to tell him all these things. And he's like, I'm responsible for the careers of dozens of authors. I think I can handle this.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
So that's why they were, okay, yeah. So when we jump 1 year later in cliche fashion.
Very cliche
Jane
fashion.
Has her book, it's popular, it's popping off. And then that's why he's there.
And that's why he's there, because he's her literary agent.
Okay,
Yeah. So that's why Jane was able to make this come true, because John just happened to be there, and he right away started like clicking with her book and her story and was like, oh yeah, this is going to be great. So we see Jane like finally getting some recognition, getting to be like the star of the family because she sold her book.
Yeah, this is sweet.
Yeah.
Honestly, Jane's my favorite character.
Yeah. Jane's my favorite too.
She has like a good little balance of being a small character, a comic relief, and also an emotional weight. Yeah. And then the family watches It's a Wonderful Life together at the same little theater that we saw the previous year, also showing It's a Wonderful Life. Literally, they just walked past it earlier in the last year. And so Sloane is by herself with the kids. Eric isn't there. And yeah, we just see how a year later everyone has kind of overcome. A lot of character growth in this movie.
Yeah. A lot of character growth. Only shown at the very last minute.
Pretty much.
And that's okay. It was
works.
A nice way of showing all the character growth. We have like a lot of very pointed shots at the engagement ring.
Yeah.
John goes to the movie with them too. He's like very much a part of their little family, which is cute.
Yeah.
And then we have this very cute moment in the credits. When the credits first start rolling, on the side you just see a bunch of Instagram posts from Tipper's Instagram.
Unlike the last movie we talked about, where the social media outro was
so ridiculous.
Terrible. This one was actually cute.
It was cute. And one of Tipper's whole things throughout the movie has been like, we have to have the perfect Instagram content for your campaign. And it's just cute that was their little way to tie that in. And it actually looks exactly like screenshots from Instagram, like if you were scrolling
they actually did. For once, a movie actually pulled that off.
Thank you, Hulu. They got that money.
All right, so I guess we're going to decide if we give it our rose or not.
Yeah, I went first last week, so.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did.
This, honestly, even with all my problems with it, this is a good movie.
Yeah.
Like, it's very well written.
Yeah.
And it's, even though it has to do with the whole coming out thing and everything, it's still representation in a romantic comedy, and you get representation and good writing, like you're getting that rose.
Absolutely. So you say yes?
I say yes.
I'm gonna have to agree. Yes, I think this gets my rose as well. Yeah, I mean, I hope we're able to kind of have the opportunity to see a lot more films like this now that this one has, been the first one that was made by like a major streaming service.
Yeah.
I hope we get on it with like more adult actors too. Maybe I would love some teen stories, some youth stories about kind of finding yourself and learning that you are gay or bi or whatever you may be. But yeah, it's also nice to see them being told by adults and like there are so many big name actors who are gay, and we can find ways to do this in a way that is more beneficial to the community that is representing. But ultimately, this movie does get my rose. And shout out Mary Holland, you wrote a very, very, very good movie.
Who else wrote this? I forget her name.
Oh.
Claire de Lune.
Yeah, good job.
That's not who it is.
I know. That's by Debussy.
Who's Claire de Lune?
Which is also featured in Twilight.
Oh, God. Clea Duvall? I'm trying to... Why are you doing this right now?
I'm singing Claire de Lune. Okay, Claire Duvall?
Clea Duvall.
Clea Duvall.
Clea Duvall and Mary Holland. Good job.
Good job, ladies. All right, you guys.
All right. So, sorry this episode was kind of serious, but I mean, it needed to be.
It needed to be, and I think, I feel like when there's not a lot of ridiculous things in the movie, we just have positive things to say. So maybe it's not... We're just going to work on being more funny when it's positive, too. So stay with us on this ride, you guys. Thanks for tuning in.
We'll see you probably next week. Hopefully, we're gonna start doing it on. Let's shoot for Wednesdays. We're gonna try to have an episode every Wednesday.
Let's do it. I like that.
All right, check us out on. Go ahead and plug yourself.
On everything, I am at I'm Shannon. Duh. You guys know where to find me. You know where I. What? You know where I be.
Instagram, highly Trev. Twitter, Highly Carbonate. Please check out my YouTube channel.
You guys,
Highly Carbonated.
Really putting out some quality stuff over there.
I'm really trying, and I just want some views. So
every time I watch it, he laughs at his own jokes, so you know they're good. And that's one of my favorite things is when he laughs at his own jokes. It's so cute to me. It's so sweet.
Okay, guys.
All right.
Thank you for listening. We love you.
Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.